One and all, we've got someone special, though. I've been promised something very interesting, which I know round of 32s and KPMMs can sometimes underdeliver. But our boy Hussein has been on the grind, and I've been promised a big surprise here. We are in a brand spanking new map. Shout out Avali for this one. This is Excavation. It's time to get your pickaxes and go and digging, because every single one of those relics is slap bang deep in these points of interest. In fact, there is quite a few points of interest. So instead of there being the standard 5 relics, rather, there is, remember correctly, is it 8? Yeah, 8 relics, 4 around each player's base. Remember, these Forgotten Ruins require you to stick a villager inside to excavate a relic 6 minutes from now. So yeah, bye-bye HRE. Maybe all of a sudden they won't be banned every time. But game 1, we are going to have Hussein on the left side playing his House of Lancaster. CSO on the east, a familiar side. This guy loves his Ayyubids, and for good reason. Has some really impressive timings around these desert raid-based strategies. Dervish as well. Curious to see what Hussein's going to be able to do, though, because we are opening up with a Dark Age rush from Lancaster. You sure about that? This is a pretty good spawn for CSO against Dark Age rush. It's a back gold. So it feels like something that should be quite hard for Hussein to access. Wait, he's... Oh, my God. Oh, my... You magnificent genius. Guys, what does Lancaster like to do right now? Well, they're English at heart, so you want to have good manners, right? Manners cost stone. So what if you could deposit a villager and start generating the infinite stone at a better rate than a villager is capable of? Because remember, the villager inside here will give you 60 stone a minute. That's crafty. That is actually quite crafty. We've seen some cool creativity around this, by the way. We have a game that I think is or will be going up on the YouTube side where B makes great use of Mongols on the Forgotten Ruins point of interest, because Mongols use stone for military presence. So garrisoning their village inside here even better. But this is cool, man. So he's going to follow up by rushing to the enemy side, but now he has the ability to get stone kicking into the economy. Would be worth getting a second, by the way, because of what he's doing here. Because double Forgotten Ruins with stone, that's going to equal enough stone per minute to build a mana. But I think the thought process for Hussein is right now, doing it so early, he'll end up accruing surplus stone by the time he builds manas. And yeah, when the point of interest gets decapped, your villager gets ejected. So that's the balance point. Something that is interesting about these, by the way, they're a little bit bugged right now. If you use the return to work button on your TC, it will eject the villagers here. That's not the only thing I think is clunky. The other thing I'm not confident was meant to happen is when you eject from the Forgotten Ruins, if you re-garrison, it starts the countdown timing again. So you can, with Forgotten Ruins, technically get infinite stone, which makes these a ball ache and free-for-alls. And what the what? All right, this game is mind-bogglingly wild. Step 1, we have Hussein farming stone for the Lancaster castle build in an efficient way. And step 2 is CSO is just as crazy on the other side. We've got Tradewing Bazaar for game 1. What? Against Lancaster? No. What's the strategy here? I am confused. I'm intrigued, but simultaneously confused. Because the options you get here, guys, are terrible against ranged fire. What is the plan? Is it just eco? Maybe you get stone rolls? And okay, so he got 2 traders. He's going to trade. He's actually going to trade. Sorry, I'm still a bit husky in the throat. But he needs to walk out to the corner, right? And boom, there we go. So it's going to be mass camel trade. And guys, I think this is what CSO wanted, because he actually did have a ticket available for Bedouin skirmishes. He actually kind of hit the jackpot. So he got double traded ticket, 1 food ticket, and Bedouin skirmishes. I think this is the perfect, like, comp. You can't ask for better than this, actually. How intriguing. Is he going to go and use it, though? Well, trader's already on the way. Only 16 gold so far, but he's going to be able to reroute them shortly. Hussein, this is now an eco game. What is better, trade or manners? I mean, because do we really want the answer to that? I feel like most of you can figure out what the answer to that's going to be, right? Yeah. I don't want to say it's obvious, but when you think about it for a little bit, like the return rates on manners just feels really good. In particular because there is zero risk to you. I think trade scales faster. It's a little bit funky with the camel traders because they actually are less efficient than standard traders. Then again, they are cheaper, but I don't think that cheapness applies when you're building them like this. Like, you're very limited unless you want to actively add them in from the marketplace. Which so far, CSO is not doing. And it looks like CSO is going to start capturing the Forgotten Ruins, so maybe some stone gen of his own. I think this is actually more about the tech timing, because obviously a big win condition for Ayyubids is often the Dervish relic pool. And this map here, this is called Excavation. It's Avali's latest creation. And it is our default map for week number 24 of the midweek musters. Okay, so Badone skirmishes are going to do really well against spearmen. They also trade reasonably well into yeomen, because both spears and yeomen are light infantry. So technically the solution to that is hobilars. I've yet to see a single game where Lancaster builds hobilars in feudal age, and it feels good. Ay. Is he going to get him ejected? Oh, he already did. But the villager left. Okay, so yeah, he's fine. The same pulled away quick enough. 20 health left on it. Sorry, I was looking at chat. I should have seen that on my screen, literally looking at it. Okay, so well played by CSO to decap that. But honestly, Hussein already got great value. He afforded the triple mana, and he's still got enough stone now left over to get a fourth. But remember, he's also got this one generating, the one right behind his base. And yes, the point of interest will have reset, so if he goes in with a villager again, it'll be another 6 minutes. This is something I'm personally not a fan of, and what I was saying should be changed. Points of interest, the Forgotten Ruins ones, should have 360 stone on them. And the way it should work is that there'll be a 360 or 360, and it'll deplete when you're inside. And it can't be unlimited stone. That also gives good tempo control, where if my win condition is relics, I can come back for it later. Because currently, someone could just come by every 5 minutes and block my win condition of relics entirely. Which, like, if you're rushing for relics anyway, having to idle a villager for stone that you don't necessarily need is already a big disadvantage. Okay, so Hussein now into the yeoman. We are getting the castle up from CSO. Likely, what, Growth Wing here? He could go Dervishes, but there's nothing to pick up. So it has to be Growth, right? I think CSO is one of those people who's been experimenting with Master Smiths. So I know that could be an option. I don't think it's great here. You could argue Industry Wing. There we go. It's going to be Growth. So like the reason why Industry Wing could make sense here is like for a very weird free TC build, because you're gathering stone from the excavation points. It's just not worth it. Free TC is too much, I think, for Ayyubids in a rush. 2 is organically going to happen because of the stone gathering. Speaking of stone gathering, Hussein. Oh, he's in all of them. Yeah, so you're going to have to unlock those mana upgrades quick, bud. Because you're going to be rolling in the stone. What do you think those villagers are doing in the ruins? You can see what they're doing. Look at him. Look at him. Look, you can even see him. He's a very tiny villager, though. It feels like someone dropped off their son in daycare, actually. They'll leave little Timmy to play with the clay pots. What if he finds something valuable? Psh, we're in, like, the medieval age. No one cares. What's he going to find? A rusty dagger? They're doing whatever Indiana Jones does? No, this is the you remember the little Asian sidekick for Indiana Jones? This is him. Like, just genuinely, look at the size. It's a kid. The impressive part is, like, the kids spend so long in there, when they come out, they're fully grown adults. So at this point, it is not quite a sweatshop. It's more like a youthful salt mine. Okay, growth is kicking in soon, but Hussein is caught up. His castle's not too far away. It's like the chase is going to be in from the Bedouins. So Hussein will have to hunker down, but he's mustering the nobles right now. Nobles that shouldn't really do that well against Desert Raiders and Bedouin swordsmen. But will at least give him the breathing room. And look at the timing on this. This is going to be filthy. Yep. 8 mana's up, so that is going to be a 10 Demi-Lancer pull for the low price of 500 resources. Yeah, good counter presence, because... Oh, this is sick, actually. You know what he can do? Oh, Whoa, yeah, Hussein. Oh, man. Yeah, he had to cancel, because I was about to say, where did it go? He wants the full 11. Bit greedy. I think 10's good enough, because what you can do with this, guys... CSO has villages out in these. You can block his win condition on relics by doing this. You just run out, you decap. That's -2 villages and -2 relics, because your opponent won't be able to excavate them. Yeah, there's definitely some volatile timings here. Hussein, there's a possibility he gets forced into White Tower with this build, which feels quite sad. White Tower only really makes sense in rush builds because you get the Ulsguard to do something with. This isn't a rush build. Your opponent's already at the point where you could get Camel Lancers. Speaking of a different kind of Lancer, though, the Demi-Lancers on the way. First relic has been excavated here and here. Other one did get intercepted, but the west side one is chilling. That feeling when you excavate the stone just to give relics to your opponent, right? Okay, here's a thought, guys. Demi-Lancers are very good at killing camels because they have low base anyway, so who cares? He could sandwich him here, but the villagers are definitely easier targets. King's College is on the way. In the meantime, there's going to be a dive in. Worker kills being achieved here. CSO, whoa! Up to 5 worker kills in total, and it's going to be more now. Uh-oh, CSO is able to cut off the retreat. This is ridiculous. It's 60 eco to 34. TC should be able to reset this eventually, but not before serious damage is done. More workers coming out to their death. And more pulled over now for the tech up. That's going to force the dive. CSO heads on in. Archers and Desert Raiders tickling away at this. This is looking bad. He may have 9 manas, but the manas have their limitations. They may have reached it. Demi-Lancers are returning fire on the other side. Nowhere near as quick, though. In fact, where are the rest? Oh, my, there they are. Did you just see that? It went from 1 worker kill to 6, now up to 11. This is ridiculous. CSO didn't know us. And now the Demi-Lancer's just also got an auto upgrade. Talk about a punch to the throat. He's not done, though. He's chasing for more. CSO has still not noticed this. This could kill him. Where's that eco lead? It's disappearing. 37 eco now to 36. Oh, sorry, 31 to 36. All of a sudden, Hussein is back in the lead, courtesy of the manas. Oh my god. And now, as CSO, like, what do? You need to rush relics? He's got the moss coming in. He's got 1 accessible. The other one got decapped and killed. And the south side hasn't been garrisoned yet, so he's actually not that well off. However, he has gone 2 TC, courtesy of the Gamble Wing, giving him the Stone Gen. Unbelievable. Hussein, that was incredible. People, like, waking up now because they probably drifted in like, oh, who cares? You know, it's CSO, it's a top 16 player. Who's Hussein? For those wondering, Hussein actually is quite decent at the game. He's ranked 659th in the world right now. He's been in the top 800 on Conq before. And he may be about to lead in this series, as it currently looks. He's got mass Yeoman on the way against mass Desert Raiders. Billman as well. So Spear plus Yeoman against mass Desert Raiders. This is not a good look for CSO. It just feels like this game, it was all going well until the Demi-Lancer hit. And now look at the state of things. 1 ram trying to knock in. Interesting choice to go into crossbows. Not really necessary here. And the whole point is these Demi-Lancers are just a front line. They just absorb a lot of the blows meant for the premium units. Now, did Hussein actually scout the TC? I don't think he dove deep enough. So maybe Hussein doesn't realize like the position is in here, which is one way he can actually outmass. He's waiting for the Yeoman upgrade to come in. Another thing to remember, guys, if he gathers a little bit of wood, a little bit of gold, we have got Shire Levy waiting to happen with maximum pull. So totally worth it. Honestly, Hussein, I think you lean to that now. Shire Levy's a crazy timing. Especially when your opponent's all in on Desert Raiders like this. We do have a switch now to Horsemen. But in the very beginning of that switch. You can see he wants to lean into it hard. He already went for the veterancy. Sync shot coming. So, okay, I think Hussein's timing here is sync shot almost complete into Shire Levy so that he goes up to about 40 Yeomen. Relics are also being picked up by Hussein, by the way. This one got reset again, but it's 2 relics compared to 1. You're seeing how CSO's being punished for the lack of excavation. Yeah, this is a very unique mechanic, by the way. Like, people were recently moaning, like, okay, KP, why are you okay with manners, but you're, like, not okay with manners, but you're not, but you're okay with the relic rush? Well, it's because there are ways now of preventing that as well, which is cool. This fight, anything but cool. That's a wipe. CSO, oh my god! And he calls it! Our resident modder just took a game from one of the best Age of Empires 4 player. Don't tell me Midweek Muster doesn't have upsets. It doesn't have surprises. Round of 32, and our boy just delivered. Man, it was all going so well until the Demi Lancers. One and all, talk about a huge upset. Our resident modder, Hussein, is leading his best of 3 series against Team Elephant CSO. If you're not familiar with CSO, he is the 2nd best player out of China. He's top tier. He's actually in the playoffs, the top 8 of the Elite Classic 3. A force to be reckoned with, but this is wild, man. Actually, did he make top 8 chart? I think... I need to double check. He might have just missed out. He was literally on the cusp. Yeah, sorry, I was right. He did make it through. So this is a top 8 player by current S tier standards. And Hussein not only is leading the series, but has an incredibly good matchup. We're in Enlightened Horizon for Game 2. Ottomans versus Japan is meant to be incredible for Ottomans. There's a lot of different focus points here. So for a start, there's the efficiency on the opening play. Your Rax is cheap compared to your opponent. Allows you to fluidly move into some counterplay as you outmass him on spears. Then long, dark / feudal with mass melee means that Imams are favored. Ottomans are better there again because they have the heal all of a sudden. And then the melee armor. I think for Japan to win this matchup, you have to lean into range units. And you are correct. Japan does pay less for the racks as well. One interesting thing did already happen, by the way, is that Hussein built the racks here instead of out here. I think Ottomans is a civ that can build the racks this deep. Because you walk out, it's only 90 wood, then you build a house afterwards. If you do that with a villager, you 85% cap the merchant camp by standing in range of it. And then, because of the time it takes to build a spearman and build a house, by the time you build a house, a spearman will come out to take over on the capture. So definitely would have been a bit more efficient for Hussein to do it that way. But it looks like he's going to try to punish CSO for going straight after the wolves. Very early as well. Yeah, only 2, but it's going to work out. CSO truly min-maxing this. So gets the first burn. It's going to be 150 gold in his pocket. And CSO will have to back off here. However, I actually think he can contest him here. The Samurai's on the way home. CSO's got extra spearmen coming out. Is he really going to let him get it? Yeah, he gives it over. Okay, a little bit surprising. I thought he might ring of roses here. Looks like Hussein is going to be stopping at the 4 spearmen, by the way. Why, though? You've still got your wolf den to get. And if you get the timing right here, you pop block your opponent, and then you can burn the racks. I don't know, man. I think Hussein probably could have kept going. And wow, he requeues now. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, the macro didn't make sense because Hussein was holding a lot of food, but he didn't build a mining camp yet. So I'm not really sure what happened there. Something must have distracted him. He's now going to move over to take his wolf den. But because of the timing interaction here, it means he's now going to be forfeiting his merchant camp. Not just that, CSO could actually end up being a bit quicker on the tech up now. He just needs to fix the food. And 2 samurai, 4 spearmen should be good enough. He's already actually marching north side to try and grief the wolf den. Really important detail, guys. When you're watching wolf dens, you've got to watch that 150 HP mark. Whoever gets the wolf den to that number, the strike that gets it there is the one that gets the gold. You could do 90% of the work on the way, and your opponent could come in and get the final hit, and they would take the bounty. Not good timing here, because look, CSO's already in range with this scout. Ooh, he's going to lose it. And that's key, actually. Hussein, he killed it quick enough here that he will secure the gold. So well played. Our local modder from the Middle East is able to thread his way through. And he needed it as well because the food income was getting out of control. 400 surplus with a tech up. Madrissa now with 11. CSO looks a bit more well optimized here. Only 3 in the Kura storehouse and not much reserve resource being held right now. Doesn't mean Hussein's in a bad position because likely you wanted to open Sipahi. Then again, I think you have to begin Archer here. Like, credit to CSO. The thing I really like about his build, I've seen multiple Japanese players just go mass samurai. And it's weird. I don't think it's great for them. Leaves you quite weak, actually. So what you do instead with this type of build, you use the samurai as more like your absorbent to take hits, and then you layer in spearmen for bulk. This makes you a lot more lean on your timings. Also gives you great mobility to kind of catch up to people when they try to retreat away from you in a way that samurai can't. And the other thing that's really important is against Ottomans, it stops Otto players from just going straight Sipahi. Because Sipahi will munch down on samurai, especially with the Imam point, which has now been pulled. I got to respect it. I love that Hussein's playing into this. A lot of players, I think, still fear this timing, and for good reason. It's a difficult build to pull off. Not for the faint of heart. You know, we've seen absolute top players like B pull it off, but you know, how many people look and go, I can do exactly what B can do, and then are able to achieve that? Truly is easier said than done. So stables coming in behind or archery? Oh, is that what I think it is? Military schools intriguing. I've seen a few people just lean to military schools instinctively, and I gotta be real with you guys. I think military schools are a bait. In Feudal Age, definitely in Dark Age. I think Dark Age only makes sense for a deer shove into Castle. But if you're in a feudal present build, it takes so long for military schools to really pay off. Flash coming in though. This is going to be very good for Hussein. Numbers on his side and the healing just means CSO can't compete. He's being a greedy mother ducker. Okay, but that's awkward now. I wonder if Hussein realizes what's happening here. He's already gathered the stone from military schools, but if he's not being contested at all, not seeing new troops, alarm bells should be going off and you should be suspecting Castle. The good news is you take out the racks. That's important because this could have been the fast castle mass foot samurai build that's been getting more popular. That would at least slow down your opponent's timing. All right, ones if you think CSO is going to win this. Twos if you think Hussein's going to take it. We're 7 minutes in. We can start to paint the picture. It looks like both players are going for castle. Hussein, maybe that military school proves justified when he gets the castle timing. I don't like the positioning of his base, though. The problem with this layout that Hussein's doing is this is now inefficient on the blacksmith. He's going to have to add in another one because you're now going Mehmed Imperial Armory. Where do you put the Mehmed? I don't think there's enough room there. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Actually, ooh, maybe he is a genius. Is that enough room? It feels like it's half a tile or like one tile not enough. Yeah, so he won't be able to buff it unless he deletes the wall. We should probably talk about what's happening on the other side, though. Not this. This. Temple of Equality is coming in. Okay, so CSO, this reaction makes sense because he doesn't feel like he's going to be able to rush out the base. Temple of Equality is not a meme. It is overused a bit at the moment because everyone's crying for it all the time. The reality check is that this landmark is good when you are gold starved. And the thing about Enlightened Horizon is you don't have a lot of gold. You have 1.6k veins in your base. So this is a pretty smart adaptation, a pivot to avoid that problem. Another thing that's interesting is I'm pretty sure if you fight on the low ground here, the monks can actually debuff from up here. I'd have to double check that though, because it is quite a wide cliff on this map. And yeah, he's already into farms. Japanese workers have shiny hair. Mm-hmm. It's to distract away from the bald spots. And here's what we were talking about. Yeah, so I have to set up another blacksmith over here now. It's like, you were probably always going to eventually need one, but it's still an extra expense early on. We do have Hussein already playing out onto the map with deer, by the way. I think this is smart because with the way CSO's played this, now with the playing to shallow monks, Buddhist monks, he's probably not going to be rushing out of his base too quickly, outside of for relic play. However, with the double imam point, you can look to snatch 2 away. And yeah, good lad. Hussein already in position to take the easy ones. Something that I think doesn't get praised about Buddhist monks, it felt like it was getting overlooked for a long time. This idea of scaling them to be like mass monks and give you gold, a lot of people didn't think it was that good because monks are expensive. You really should have a look at the Temple of Equality though. Buddhist monks only cost 80 gold. It's not that expensive. It means once you've got into the Zen tech, a Buddhist monk pays for itself in under 4 minutes. That's a pretty good deal, actually. Considering the return rate on things like manners, which a lot of people feel is OP, is 3 minutes. Looks like we are getting Sipahi in the castle now from Hussein. Yeah, because he doesn't have enough Vizier points to rush into things like the Advanced Academy. We're nowhere near that point. He is going to start queuing up Janissaries, which is... Oh. Janissaries... I know what Hussein's thinking, but the problem is he hasn't scouted. His thought process makes sense, but like he hasn't seen what landmark it is. He hasn't checked what unit it is. There are no mounted samurai yet. So you could argue this is preemptive because your opponent's going to go for it. I feel as if with the farm transition from CSO, his goal here isn't actually mass cav. I think it's mass foot samurai. Which is very good on this map, by the way. Because of the short route. Look how close their bases are. If you have 30 samurai, you can break through this like nothing. Which is why Hussein... This detail is important overall, actually. I know Hussein is a big lover of Ottomans. He plays them a lot in community games, etc. Little tip to Hussein. Mango's not as good as Spring-Ons. Yeah, he's triggered... He's actually toggling them now, but I think genuinely, especially in like the Japanese matchup, the Mango's just not worth it. I think you straight up Spring-Ord, no hesitation. The Relic's already home. Nicely played. So it's going to be a 3-2 split in favor of Hussein. Really good considering your opponent went for the Temple of Equality. Going full military school and pull Ronin and Jenny points. I'm not sure that's worth it. This is actually starting to look like fast imp macro. Really? Wait, what? Well, you are against almost a, I want to say like a passive build here. Mass Buddhist monk spam isn't about all in aggro. It's about chill pill and the fact they can't kill you. So, I mean, pretty sure you can't debuff a great bombard. Oh my god, he's actually fast imping him. Just a big shout out to Hussein for the creativity with these builds. Game 1 was wildly creative, by the way. But G2, like, this is a very old school way to go. Maybe it doesn't seem creative to people, but like when you think about the fact that Ottoman players don't really do this anymore, at least not in our pro leagues, maybe in like ladder games, etc. What was that saying we've used before? You know, if you wait long enough to resurrect something that was dead, then it's creative again. If you go back to doing all-in Mongol scout rushes, well, we ain't seen them since 2021, so you're very creative. Well done. This is where we're going to like, technically, you are correct. The best kind of correct. All right, I guess we can do 2x speed a little bit here, because this is idle point. CSO is blobbing for us all in. Hussein may have been a bit too greedy here. But if he keeps raiding with the Spy, which I think is the idea, then CSO shouldn't come looking. Oof, and that feels bad. Adachi tech kind of worthless against Sipahi mass. Six sites also locked in. Really well played. That gold's going to be crucial for these tech timings. There it is. Istanbul Observatory now being erected. Did Buddhist monks get a buff? No, people were just sleeping on it. So like partial is being slept on. Another part is over time just nerfs to the Yorishiro drops for Floating Gate. But the other important thing that changed is Season 10 introduced these tiny gold veins. The small veins on these maps actually was a buff to the Buddhist monk build. Because now, when you're stuck in a corner and only have 3,200 gold, the idea of infinite gold generation on a unit that pays its cost back in under 4 minutes is a jackpot. Right now, he has got 24 Buddhist monks in climbing, each of them generating 25 gold a minute. Look at the amount of people on gold, and then look at his gold income with only 2 relics. It's a slow play, though. That's the catch. Technically, tempo-based builds could catch you out here, but those tempo builds need to be careful, because like usually tempo builds involve things like lances, and that's where Buddhist monks will look good, because the other value point for them is the debuff that they can apply is incredibly effective against high base damage units. So second TC from CSO now. He's playing more greed? Really? I love that. Oh no! Religious people! Don't make me not believe in the Sunni ways. Oh, that was brilliant. All he done is walked in, saw 30... I don't even know if Hussein actually processed they were Buddhist monks. He just like saw 30 pink units like, nope, 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 nope. They might be spearmen, they've got a long stick. Hussein's going wide on the flank, so we do have the Rones added in. A Robotiquin switch is pretty sick, actually. We talked about the Great Bombard, but Robotiquin could feel even better here. I love the honesty from Hussein. He's like, yep, I genuinely thought they were spears. For a moment, I thought my life was forfeit. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so it is mass Janissaries into this. In theory, Janissaries, they are faster attack speed, lower base damage to a certain degree. It's still good base damage. So, like, in theory, the idea there is, like, less impacted by the Buddhist monk debuff. Is still going to hurt, though. The sprinkles are going to be key. What Hussein's going to want to do in the fights, you want to almost let your opponent come in range of you so that you can get sprinkle shots on Samurai plus the Buddhist monks. That's the clutch play. Because these are only 90 HP. So even though sprinkles don't get bonus against them, 14 base kills pretty fast. 40 Buddhist monks? I know, right? Like, why is this, like, this is rookie numbers? Keep going. These are like, what, half the value of a villager's gathering rate? They're actually not bad as just an economy unit. And that's an interesting thought, is that these are economy and military in one. Wait, did you forget to use tuning pack? Oh my god, you griefed yourself. What is this apiary? GG, get me out of this game. Yeah, so guys, there's a tuning pack at the moment because after the animations got tweaked in Season 10, a lot of units' attack speed values got altered. So, for example, Janissaries attack slower. I believe there was something with Chuganu that was a bit funky, if I'm not mistaken. But the really big one that we noticed, we actually have a video on YouTube about it if you want to check it out, is the Gilded Chuganu, as we call them, because crossbows' attack speed was substantially inflated over what it should be. Hussein's going to realize what's happening here, right? He would if he was actually getting pinged right now. There we go. Just got a new ping. That should be the reality check, so it does get the clear. Cost him 2 workers, though. Or was it a 3, maybe? Alright, is this go time? It feels like it. Hussein, he's got the Great Bombard. Maybe, do we just get a second Great Bombard? Is it, like, maybe even worth it here? No, I don't think he has time to wait around for that. He's going to march forward. We've got the Siege Army up at 31 pop. CSO, whoa. Bold, switching them out of Samurai, but this is bold for glory. Castle of the Crow. If you can get out of the way. There we go. They got out of the way. 11 to build it up. But he's going the other way. No. It's not a shogunate yet, but guys, he's actually not far away. CSO only needs 1,200 stones, so 400 more. We're going to knock on the stone wall. You have got the double wall. Won't last long against the Great Bombard, so it's going to be a break-in. However, at this stage, CSO doesn't have too much of his economy here. The farms, yes, it's kind of awkward, but there's a second farm cluster being built. There's still deer over here. Berries he can move to on the north. I don't think this flatlines his economy at all. Great Bombard feels like it's taking a long time with this, by the way. Don't worry, the Springhorn's 1 damage is definitely helping. 19 workers on gold, and he has 2.5k gold. And thank you, Armakan, for the maths. 1,350 gold per minute from monks. And all it takes is 25% of your population. Bargain. He's now knocking on the door. It's not going to be the Shogunate Castle. So no rocket launcher defense. In the meantime, the samurai go in. Hello. No elite tech, but no real army to threaten him either. This is ridiculous. This is a base race. Torches out. I mean, can he actually do this? The Castle of the Crow is going to be a bigger challenge, but should have enough torch power. CSO doesn't really have a way of killing the landmarks right now. The samurai count is not good enough. This is wild. What? I mean, it's feasible as well. 3 landmarks on one screen. A castle drop coming in. I can't believe this. Hussein. Is he about to 2-0 a top 8 player? Hussein's losing it all. This is all in. The villagers are being pulled as well. He's not wasting any time with this anymore. Janissary count at 40 means that the Mountain Samurai shouldn't really be doing anything. Please, for the love of God, toggle off of melee armor, though. Why? Why? Why are we on melee armor? Don't do this, Hussein. It's a 15% attack speed buff. Oh my God, if this is the difference. Siege is about to get backstabbed. Needs to react now with the Janissaries. Great Bombard in trouble. You can't afford those losses. The villagers don't get there in time. 1 down. If he takes out this other Great Bombard, I do believe that'll be too little siege for Hussein to win. He only has 17 Sipahi. What was Hussein? Money. Villagers just idling around in a weird way. He's going to grab the relics. Maybe some clutch Wallalows. Problem is, like, your Wallalows suck because you can't convert half of CSO's army. Yeah, religious can't convert religious. You don't just show a Buddhist monk a shiny relic and convince him that the 40 years he's spent believing was all wrong. Religion never will be that logical. Great Bombard's knocking. Mangoes are moving in, but the Sipahi. A freebie here. CSO, wait, what? What was the goal there? What was the gold here? Is he cannon foddering them? He's cannon foddering them. Into Revoltiquins? Not like this. Well, lol. No, he triggers both. Debuff starting to come through. Oh, if he had one more Wallow, that could have bought crucial time here to wipe the samurai. Instead, it looks like he's getting splintered. The backstab. This is it. A valiant effort from Hussein. But he will fall 1 landmark short of 2-0ing the second best player from China. 1-0. Welcome back to the series. It comes down to this. A G3. Hussein had us on the edge of our seats in that game too. Can we just give a big shout? Like, I want Pogs in chat. I want to see the KP Pogs. I want to see the emotes used everywhere. To show support for Hussein, who took game number 1 from CSO and had us on the edge of our seats for a landmark rush in G2. It's got me wondering what we're going to see for the 3rd game. CSO with the Chinese. Hussein on the other side has gone for Knights Templar. Map is going to be Sunken Lands. And you can see, if you control the mid-map, Sacred Site income can be good. But the challenge is in control. And on top of that, this is a map that's looked pretty good for pro scouts with the 30 deer on offer. CSO, of course, with the Chinese, has a very clear and easy way to play for those deer. Hussein, not so much. Usually you can at least shove 1 deer in because 1 spawns just out of TC range. CSO's buff for this game? In what way? Because he's Chinese playing Chinese? Oh yeah, so like this is actually Hussein's own fault. So he's Iranian. If he had been like Lebanese or like Turkish, these countries that got like invaded by the Knights Templar, then he would have had like had a deeper understanding of them. Yeah, that's the problem. Hussein's like Pepe Hans. There is no Iranian Civ. I guess did Abbasids like I think the Abbasid Caliphate did kind of stretch into that territory. I think that's the closest you get, actually, right? Because Ayyubids is meant to be basically the Mamluks. And I think their territory limits were shy of that. The Abbasids controlled Iran? There you go. So it's Abbasid. Why are you an Ottoman main, then? Like, bruh. Yeah, so, like, Delhi speak Farsi. The Abbasids controlled your country for 150 years. But you're an Ottoman main. Intriguing. And now you're a French main. Kingdom of France coming in. CSO on the other side has gone Spears opening. Interesting. Did he think he was going to get contested on Pro Scouts? Or this might just be to deny Pilgrims? Bit funky over Horsemen, though, no? Like, why would you build Spears against a Civ that loves building archers? Oh, of course. He went Ottomans because 3 units. You're that guy. All right, here's a funny thought. Knights Templar, Ottomans, House of Lancaster, the 3 civs that he's played the series. He could end up winning only with the civs that are the furthest from home, the Europeans. Chili sauce is gorgeous? I don't know. Like, I've probably had chili sauce and things, I just don't remember. Hummus is goated. Hummus is the way. Like, like you take falafels and you just dump them in hummus. It's like it's just name me many things where you can dip itself in itself and it's so good. And oh my god, this is so good. So yeah, so he's Barbican rushing him. Wait, is this gonna be in the stealth forests? No, he's using the stealth forest to get closer. This is about the tree line. Don't do him like this, man. Is the Pilgrim gonna scout it? It would be big if it does, because maybe you get an archery range in time. It's going to be stables. That's going to be too slow. No. This is cursed. And look how deep he's going. You monster. You wouldn't dare. Not like this. See, so he's done it too early. He's missed back road. It doesn't matter, though. The Chevalier is 25 seconds out. Wait, the archery range? The archery range is blocking him. He can still build it here. He'd have to go deeper. And he has been seen. He has been seen. Villager pull has to happen now. It's going to rush the archer range instead. How did... I'm losing my mind. He still doesn't have the economy to build it yet. Oh my god. What is this series? This series is wild. And there it is. No. Archer's going to come out. The TC fire is hitting in. He needs the villager pull right now. Like, this isn't enough. The archer can't carry this. It's going up. Oh, no. Okay, so do the Pilgrims get by? The Pilgrims actually might get shot, depending on which side they spawn. Even if they go to the west side sacred site. Oh, this is so chalked. He's killing the spearmen instead of the villagers as well, right? No, he went for the worker kill. Okay. But, like, this is going up. And then... Oh, please, thank God. He pulls his sheep to the back, so he's still going to have food. This is looking pretty bad. I'm going to be real with you. No one expects that... Wait, where are you going? Help. Help. There's something ironic about the Civ that can't build gunpowder units, that refuses to, being killed by them so early in the game. I can't believe that. So Hussein, this is what I was talking about, by the way. He should switch his sacred site to the west side, but sometimes the pilgrims spawn on the east side. If they spawn on the east side of the TC, they're still going to die. Probably. They should get hit at least 3 times. This is... I think this might be a depressing end to the series for Hussein. This is not great, guys. CSO already has a substantial worker lead. Hussein is already playing further away from his base than he wants to. This was his home tree line. He's on a more risky one. And on top of that, CSO can now build military right in your base. And you can't use his... Oh my god. Was that the pilgrim? Bro, where are you going? What are you doing? I can't do this series. Alright. Before this game is over, one of these pilgrims has to not be drunk. Surely. I don't know, man. I feel like back in those ages, I would personally have to be very drunk to, as a Christian, travel into foreign religious territory unarmed. Like, to convince me to do that, I'd have to be drunk every day. So, let's see if we've got someone sobered or if all pilgrims are alcoholics. And all pilgrims are alcoholics. Yep, that little flask right there on his belt, full of alcohol. While he is full of bullet holes. I can't, man. I can't. Pathing in this game is... Alright, if you think that feels bad, this feels even worse. Ramming a Barbican is one of... Is it one of the most demoralizing things to do in Feudal Age in the game? I think so. It takes so much effort. Could you somehow wall this? No, because you'd have to run villages in range of the Barbican. Because they spawn here, right? So you'd have to wall this. It wouldn't work. Even then, knowing the Pilgrim, he'd go to the right side. What he could have done early on is when he saw that he was trying to get the villagers in to do that, maybe just quick walling here would have solved the problem. And, like, actually, like, so in hindsight, like I was saying, I think the play here would have been... You can wall, or you could have outposted instead of archery range. Because archery range is 150, outpost 100. And if you build the outpost here, while gathering some food for your villagers still, he can't dive you with the spears. That's why a lot of the time, what you should do with China in these situations is this greedy of a, like, Barbican, you should outpost first, and then you build the Barbican next to it. That's what we've seen a lot of high-level players do. Yeah. It's the archer rangers behind now. Plus horsemen, I don't see the way. It's Chug of all things on top of that. He has clown card inside. Good luck with that. You are now in killing range of the horsemen. Wait, garrison the TC, garrison the TC. Oh, whoops, 2 times speed. Garrison the TC. I think when these horsemen dive in, like garrison the TC is probably your only way. Otherwise, horsemen are just going to clear the ram first. Barbican just has so much HP as well. So first ram down. Oops. Oops. Sir, we might not want to be here. Yeah, and like I like that Hussein's very transparent about this. So in chat, he just said, I was too shocked to think correctly. And then that is the thing. Like, I want people to be mindful. When we give feedback on like what did or happened, what should have happened, whatever, there's a mindset, right? Like, 1, there is the panic. 2, there is an idea you have that may not be apparent from the gold vision because we can see it's wrong, right? So it's always important to keep those things in mind. And I'm not surprised this caught Hussein off guard. Like, you know, the days of Chinese Barbican rushes, at least in Conq level, are gone. It's a rare cycle these days. Not that we don't see it, it just doesn't come up often. Let alone as the initial choice. Barbican rushes on map like Frisian happen in pro level, but they happen after the Imperial Academy. And finally, wait, so what? So we had to gamble on building level 2 Pilgrim for them to actually get the memo? Come on. At this stage, it does feel a little late, though. I wouldn't be surprised if CSO just ages up and builds the clock tower here. Archers are going to look to fight, but it's a decent amount of Chug now. Doesn't feel possible. So he's trying to bait him to attack the ram and then jump out. But you see the trades are just terrible. Kills maybe one Chuk, loses 3 archers. Ugly choke point to dive into. And the Horseman Flood arrives. Reinforcements are in. Yeah, they just got back from murdering the Pilgrims, by the way. Those guys didn't get through. This is over. Props to Hussein. Round of 32 is meant to be very one-sided. Oh, well, not very, but obviously, you know, CSO's high ranking, yes. But credit to him for putting up a good fight in that game 1, game 2. This one just unfortunately was that classic, the one move and what do I do type feeling. What are you doing? Copy him. I'm going to be that parent's like, why can't you be more like your brother? Your brother's so good. I mean, he's dead too, but like... Anyway. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you give the channel a follow. Make sure you share the videos around. And really big shout out to players like Hussein for signing up. Sign-ups open for 16 new applicants every single week. So make sure you sign up for midweek musters like Hussein has. And, well, I think you can see the root of improvement. It doesn't maybe show in this final game, but especially that game number 1 shows you that the grind can pay off. Who knows? Maybe another future star.